She said, "My ex will always be more important than you." I said, "Okay." Then I ended the engagement on the spot and left her crying while her whole family watched. Look, I'm not the type to air dirty laundry online, but what happened at that dinner table needs to be documented. Maybe it'll help someone else see the signs I missed. Or maybe I just need to get this out of my system before it eats me alive. I'm Wilder, 31, biomedical engineer. I design cardiac monitoring devices that save lives. Ironic, considering I couldn't detect the heart that was lying next to me every night. My fiancée, ex-fiancée now, Sophia is 29, works as a stage lighting technician for the local theater district. We'd been together 3 years, engaged for 8 months, and just closed on a townhouse in March. Everything seemed solid. Sophia would come home covered in sawdust and cable grease, excited about whatever production she was rigging. I'd tell her about my latest patent application or a breakthrough in sensor miniaturization. She'd listen, actually engaged, asking questions that showed she understood what mattered to me. We weren't just lovers, we were partners. Or so I thought. The cracks started small. Sophia had always been protective of her phone, but lately, she'd angle it away when responding to texts. She'd step outside for calls, claiming the reception was better on the porch. One night, I walked into the bedroom and she practically threw her phone across the nightstand. "Jesus, Wilder, not much?" she snapped. "It's my bedroom too," I said. "Who were you texting?" "Just Bria from work. We're coordinating tomorrow's load-in." Bria. Her assistant lighting designer. Made sense, except Bria had posted Instagram stories from a vacation in Cancun that same day. Then came the work emergencies. Sophia would get calls at weird hours, always stepping out, always returning with elaborate explanations about blown dimmers or F-word up-fly systems. I work with engineers, I know what real emergencies sound like. These weren't it. The PayPal notifications started showing up on our joint account iPad. $500 here, $300 there, all labeled equipment rental or gear share. Thing is, Sophia owned all her own equipment. She'd invested heavily in her kit when she went freelance. Why would she need to rent anything? "It's for specialized stuff," she explained when I asked. "LED panels for that contemporary dance piece. You wouldn't understand the technical specifics." I design medical devices that operate inside human hearts. Pretty sure I could grasp the concept of LED panels. One morning, while Sophia showered, I noticed WhatsApp on her phone. Strange, we always used regular texts. When I checked again that evening, the app was gone. 3 days later, it was back. This pattern repeated for weeks. Install, delete, reinstall. Someone only does that when they're hiding conversations. Will. That's when his name started appearing in my head. Her ex from before we met. Classical violinist, travels internationally with various orchestras. She'd mentioned him exactly twice in 3 years, once to say they'd dated in college, once to laugh about how pretentious he was. "Imagine dating someone who practices violin at 3 a.m. and calls it honoring the muse," she'd said. But then I noticed she'd checked the Cleveland Orchestra's tour schedule. The Philadelphia Symphony's calendar was bookmarked on her laptop. The New York Philharmonic's Instagram in her recent searches. Will performed with all of them as a featured soloist. I started a spreadsheet. Yeah, I know how that sounds, but I'm an engineer, data doesn't lie. Every work emergency, every equipment rental, every mysterious evening call. I added Will's tour dates from the orchestra's websites. The pattern was obvious. 14 out of 17 emergencies aligned with his performances within a 4-hour drive. Last Thursday, I was backing up my phone when I noticed our shared iCloud had files in the recently deleted folder. Sophia must have forgotten that deleting from her phone didn't remove them from the cloud immediately. Most were innocuous, screenshots of lighting plots, menu photos from restaurants. But there was a voice memo. 37 seconds long. Recorded 2 weeks ago at 1:47 a.m., when she was supposedly at an emergency strike for a show that had closed. My finger hovered over the play button. Once I listened, I couldn't unhear it. But I already knew, didn't I? The data was clear. The pattern undeniable. I pressed play. Sophia's voice, hushed but clear, "After the wedding, we can stop hiding. Just a few more months and then everything will be perfect." The voice memo played 3 more times before I set my phone down. Each replay confirmed what my gut already knew but my brain refused to process. After the wedding, we can stop hiding. I sat at my desk until 4 a.m., my engineer brain doing what it does best, organizing chaos into data. The spreadsheet grew. Will's tour schedule on the left, Sophia's emergencies on the right. Green cells where they matched. By dawn, my screen looked like a Christmas tree. Cleveland Orchestra, April 3rd, will performing Brahms Violin Concerto. Sophia's April 2nd emergency, venue's lighting board crashed, had to drive to Cleveland for a replacement unit. Returned April 4th. Philadelphia Symphony, April 19th, will guest soloist for Mozart's Violin Concerto No. 5. Sophia's April 18th emergency, last-minute gig helping a colleague. Back April 20th. The pattern stretched back 7 months. 17 incidents. 14 perfect matches. I dug deeper into our finances. The joint account showed those PayPal transfers I'd noticed. $500 to WM Productions on April 3rd. $750 to Classical Events LLC on April 19th. Shell companies? No. I found Will's Venmo from an old Facebook tag. William Morrison. WM. The balls on this woman, using our joint account to fund her affair. The wedding fund was worse. We'd each been contributing $1,500 monthly. The account should have had $27,000. Current balance, $9,000. $18,000. Gone. Recent withdrawals all in cash, all just under the $10,000 reporting limit. She'd been planning this. I needed proof beyond spreadsheets. Real evidence. So I called my buddy Rico from the gym. Former cop, now runs a pie firm specializing in corporate fraud. I figured infidelity wasn't that different. I need everything, I told him. Photos, videos, whatever you can legally obtain. You sure you want to know? Rico asked. I already know. I need evidence. Rico worked fast. Within a week, he had what I needed. Photos of Sophia entering the Marriott downtown, where Will was staying. Timestamps showed her arriving at 11 p.m., leaving at 7 a.m. Different clothes. Hair messy. The kind of details that paint a picture no one wants to see. More photos from Philadelphia. Sophia and Will at a wine bar, her hand on his thigh. Another of them kissing in a parking garage. Rico even got video of them checking into a hotel together, Sophia paying cash. There's more, Rico said when he handed me the folder. I tracked her credit cards. She opened 2 you don't know about. Both maxed out. About $12,000 total debt. Recent purchases include men's clothing, concert tickets, and a $3,000 violin bow from some specialty shop in New York. A violin bow. $3,000 for a stick with horsehair. While I was calculating mortgage payments and planning our future. I kept going to work, kept coming home, kept pretending everything was normal. Sophia had no idea. She'd gotten comfortable, sloppy. Left her laptop open one morning while she showered. Her Instagram was logged in, not her main account, but at light_and_shadows_222. Private profile. 1 follower. Will's private account. Their entire relationship documented in stories and posts. Selfies in hotel rooms. Pictures of room service dinners. Will playing violin while Sophia filmed. The captions made me sick. My soulmate. Worth the wait. Soon we won't have to hide. One post stopped me cold. A photo of her engagement ring, the ring I'd spent 3 months designing with a jeweler, captioned, "The down payment on our real future." She saw me as an ATM. A stability provider. A safety net while she played out some artistic romance fantasy with a man who played fiddle for a living. Friday night, she went to another emergency. I followed her to her parents' house first, establishing an alibi with a quick visit, then watched her drive straight to the Hilton where Will was staying before tomorrow's performance with the State Symphony. I went home and kept searching. That's when I found it. Tucked between her lighting design books on the shelf. A leather journal I'd given her last Christmas. She'd said she wanted to start writing again. I opened it to the most recent entry, dated 5 days ago. The first line made my blood freeze. Wilder is stability, Will is passion. After I'm married, I'll have both. I closed the journal and put it back exactly where I found it. My hands weren't shaking. My pulse was steady at 72 BPM, I know because I designed devices that measure this stuff. Turns out, when rage gets cold enough, it feels like clarity. Monday morning, I met with a lawyer. Not some random attorney from Google, but Patricia Reeves, who handled patent law for my company and came highly recommended for family law. I laid out everything. The spreadsheets. Rico's photos. The financial records. The $18,000 from your wedding fund, Patricia said, reviewing the documents. That's fraud. The secret credit cards in both your names? Also fraud. We can pursue criminal charges if you want. What are my options? Depends what outcome you're looking for. Financial recovery? Criminal prosecution? Or just a clean break? I want her to understand that choices have consequences. Patricia smiled. I can work with that. We structured a plan. First, protect my assets legally. Everything I'd earned, saved, and invested before and during the relationship needed to be secured. Patricia drew up documents for a scholarship fund at the local community college, specifically for single mothers pursuing STEM degrees. Every cent from our joint accounts would transfer there. Legally. Irrevocably. She can't touch it once it's moved, Patricia explained. It's a charitable donation. You're not hiding assets, you're being philanthropic with your own money. Tuesday through Thursday, I executed the transfers. $9,000 from the wedding fund. $14,000 from our joint savings. $8,000 from the vacation account. All of it moved to the Second Chances STEM scholarship. The paperwork was bulletproof. The tax benefits alone made it worthwhile. I also prepared for the reveal. 2 manila envelopes. The first held everything. Printed screenshots of their Instagram exchanges, bank records showing her PayPal transfers to Will, Rico's photos and videos on a USB drive, transcripts of her journal entries, photographed, not stolen, and a printed copy of that voice memo's waveform with a QR code linking to the audio file. The second envelope contained the legal documents. The scholarship fund establishment papers. The fraud documentation Patricia prepared. A notarized statement of our asset division showing everything had been legally transferred. And a draft lawsuit for recovery of the stolen $18,000. The family dinner was planned for Saturday. Sophia's mother's birthday. The whole extended family would be there, parents, siblings, aunts, uncles, cousins. 15 people who adored Sophia and constantly told me how lucky I was. I scheduled social media posts across every platform. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn. Set to go live at 7:45 p.m., right when dessert would typically be served. Each post contained different pieces of evidence. The internet would have everything within minutes. The week before dinner, I became the perfect fiancé. Brought Sophia flowers on Tuesday. Cooked her favorite pasta on Wednesday. Even sat through a 3-hour technical rehearsal at her theater on Thursday, pretending to be fascinated by her explanation of DMX protocols. She got careless. Comfortable. Started leaving her phone around. Taking calls in the same room. Friday morning, she actually laughed about something Will texted her while I was making breakfast 3 feet away. What's funny? I asked, flipping pancakes. Oh, just this meme about lighting boards. You wouldn't get it. Right. Because violinists are known for their lighting board humor. That night at dinner, she dropped the bomb casually. Oh, Will's orchestra is doing a European tour all month. Vienna, Prague, Berlin. Must be incredible. I nodded, cutting my steak. That's quite a tour. I knew Will was actually performing with the State Symphony tomorrow night, 20 minutes from our house. His Instagram, which he'd forgotten I could see through a mutual friend's account, showed him at downtown coffee shop that morning. Saturday came fast. I dressed carefully. Best shirt, the watch Sophia gave me last Christmas, the cologne she loved. Looked in the mirror and saw a man about to detonate his entire life. Felt right. I loaded the envelopes in my jacket's inner pockets. Checked my phone, all posts queued and ready. The scholarship fund website was live, already featuring testimonials from the college president about what this would mean for their students. You ready, babe? Sophia called from downstairs. We need to leave in 5. I grabbed my keys and headed down. That's when I saw it through the front window. Parked 2 blocks down, partially hidden behind an SUV. A black Audi S5 with New York plates. Will's car. I stared at Will's Audi for 3 seconds, then turned to Sophia. Forgot my phone charger. Give me a sec. I walked back upstairs, took a photo of his car through the bedroom window, and added it to tonight's scheduled posts with the caption, "He was literally waiting around the corner while she drove us to dinner." Sophia drove us to her parents' place, talking about her mother's birthday plans, completely unaware I'd just documented her lover lurking outside our home. The cognitive dissonance was almost impressive. Her family's house smelled like pot roast and fresh bread. Her mother, Gloria, hugged me at the door. Wilder. Looking handsome as always. When are you two finally giving me grandchildren? One step at a time, I said, catching Sophia's eye. She actually winked at me. The dining room was packed. Parents, Sophia's sister Nova with her husband, her brother Dante, Uncle Roger, the lawyer, Aunt Marie, a handful of cousins. Everyone who'd watched Sophia grow up. Everyone who'd celebrated our engagement. Dinner flowed normally. I carved the roast. Passed dishes. Laughed at Uncle Roger's terrible jokes. Sophia sat beside me, her hand occasionally touching my arm, playing the devoted fiancé perfectly. The weight of the envelopes in my jacket felt like armor. Gloria brought out champagne for a toast. The good stuff she'd been saving. Everyone raised their glasses, and that's when Sophia decided to give a speech. I want to thank everyone for being here, she started, her face glowing. This year has been transformative for me. Planning the wedding, growing in my career, and really understanding what love means. A few AWs from the table. I kept my expression neutral. I've learned that love isn't just about comfort or stability, she continued, looking at me. It's about passion. It's about that person who speaks to your soul. Someone recently reminded me of that. And I realize now, she turned to face the whole table. Will taught me what real love is. He'll always come first. The room went silent. Forks stopped moving. Her father's expression shifted from confusion to concern. Nova's mouth fell open. What? Gloria whispered. Sophia seemed to realize what she'd said. I mean, that was before, what I meant was... No, I said, setting down my napkin with deliberate calm. You said exactly what you meant. I reached into my jacket and pulled out the first envelope. Since we're being honest about priorities. Wilder, what are you doing? Sophia's voice pitched higher. I removed the photos first. Slid them across the table like playing cards. Sophia entering Will's hotel. The kiss in the parking garage. The wine bar. Her father picked up one, his face darkening. These are from the past 2 months, I said. While we were planning our wedding. You had me followed? Sophia shrieked. I had us investigated. There's a difference. I pulled out the bank records. These are PayPal transfers from our joint account to Will. $8,500 total. From the account we opened for our future. Uncle Roger grabbed the papers, his lawyer instincts kicking in. This is fraud, Sophia. I pulled out my phone. But wait, there's more. The voice memo was queued up. I hit play. Sophia's voice filled her mother's dining room. After the wedding, we can stop hiding. Just a few more months and then everything will be perfect. Gloria's hand covered her mouth. Nova stood up, then sat back down. Dante just stared at his sister like he'd never seen her before. That's not, you don't understand the context, Sophia stammered. I produced the second envelope. The context is theft. I pulled out the scholarship documents. The $27,000 we saved for our wedding? I donated it this week. Every penny. The Second Chances STEM scholarship will help 3 single mothers get engineering degrees this fall. You can't do that. That's our money. Was. Past tense. It's all legal. Notarized. Irreversible. I turned to Uncle Roger. You can verify the paperwork. Sophia lunged for the documents. Her father caught her arm. Sophia Marie, sit down. He can't just. You stole $18,000, I said. The transfers are documented. The fraud is clear. You can explain it to a judge if you want. Her phone started buzzing. Then Nova's. Then several cousins' phones lit up simultaneously. Oh, I said, checking my watch. 7:45. Right on schedule. Nova grabbed her phone first. Her face went pale as she scrolled. Holy S word, Sophia. This is everywhere. What is everywhere? Gloria demanded. Everything, Nova said, reading from her screen. Screenshots of Instagram messages. Can't wait to taste you again. Jesus Christ, Sophia. Bank transfers. Photos. There's a video of you two at, she stopped, looking at her parents. I can't read this out loud. Sophia snatched at Nova's phone, but her sister pulled it away. The comments were already pouring in. I could see the notification count climbing on my own phone. 47. 112. 238. This is why I have trust issues, Dante read from his phone. She belongs to the streets. That poor guy, at least he found out before the wedding. Sophia's phone rang. She answered on speaker by accident in her panic. Sophia, what the F word is this? A woman's voice, professional and pissed. My entire board is texting me. The theater's tagged in posts about you embezzling wedding funds. We need to talk about your position. Tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Miranda, I can explain. The line went dead. Her phone immediately rang again. Will's name on the screen. She answered, stepping away from the table. Delete it now. Will's voice carried across the room even though it wasn't on speaker. My girlfriend saw everything. The orchestra is talking about suspending me. My reputation? Your reputation? Sophia screamed back. What about mine? I told you we needed to be careful. This is your fault for. She hung up on him. The phone rang again immediately. She declined. It rang again. Her father stood up slowly. Richard was a quiet man, ran a small accounting firm, never raised his voice in the 30 years I'd known of him. Get out of my house. Dad. I said get out. I didn't raise a thief and a liar. Richard, please, Gloria intervened, tears streaming. She's our daughter. Our daughter stole from the man she promised to marry. Our daughter has been lying to all of us. Using him. He looked at me. Wilder, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. How could you? Gloria turned to Sophia. How could I have raised someone so cruel? We taught you better. We taught you about honor, about loyalty. You don't understand, Sophia started the victim routine. Will and I have history. We're soulmates. Wilder was just. Just what? I asked. Just the stability? Just the wallet? Just the safety net while you played out your fantasy? You were never supposed to find out. That makes it worse, not better. Uncle Roger had been reading through the legal documents. Sophia, this is serious. Fraud over $10,000 is a felony in this state. The evidence is overwhelming. If Wilder presses charges, you're looking at prison time. Prison? The color drained from her face. Uncle Roger, you have to help me. I'm a tax attorney, not a miracle worker. And I don't represent family members who commit felonies. Sophia spun between family members, looking for an ally. Everyone avoided her eyes. Her cousin Bria was showing something on her phone to others. More gasps. More disgust. This is entrapment, Sophia shouted at me. You set me up. You manipulated everything. I documented everything. You did everything. She lunged at me then. Actually threw herself across the table, nails out, going for my face. Dante caught her mid-leap, wrestling her back. Are you insane? He shouted, pinning her arms. You want assault charges too? Let me go. He ruined my life. You ruined your life, Nova said. He just made sure everyone knew about it. Sophia broke down then. Not pretty tears but ugly, gasping sobs. Mascara running, nose dripping, the works. Please, Wilder. Please. I'll do anything. We can work this out. We can go to counseling. I'll cut Will off. I'll pay everything back. With what money? The secret credit cards you maxed out? The $3,000 you spent on his violin bow? More gasps from the family. That was a detail they hadn't heard yet. I love you, she tried. I made a mistake but I love you. No. You love what I provided. There's a difference. A car door slammed outside. Heavy footsteps on the porch. Someone pounded on the door. Sophia. Open up. Delete everything now or I swear to God. Will had arrived. Richard opened the door before Will could pound again. Will stood there in his performance tux, probably supposed to be on stage in 2 hours. His perfectly styled hair was disheveled, face red with panic. Where is she? He pushed past Richard. Sophia. He froze when he saw the entire family staring at him. The photos still scattered on the table. Sophia's destroyed face. Me, sitting calmly with my hands folded. You, Will pointed at me. Take it down. All of it. Now. No. Do you have any idea what you've done? My career. Is that all you care about? Sophia wailed. Your career? What else is there? We had an arrangement. You knew what this was. Another car door slammed. Heels clicked rapidly up the walkway. A woman appeared behind Will, tall, blonde, wearing a cocktail dress in fury. You piece of S-word, she said to Will, then saw Sophia. And you. You pathetic little. Astrid, let me explain. She slapped Will. Hard. The sound echoed through the house. 8 months? 8 months? She held up her phone. It's all here. Every message. Every photo. Every receipt. Astrid and I are engaged, Will said to Sophia, like that explained everything. The room went silent again. Even I hadn't known that part. Engaged? Sophia's voice broke completely. You're engaged? For 6 months. The wedding's in October. But you said after my wedding we could be together. You said you loved me. Will laughed. Actually laughed. Come on, Sophia. You were marrying him for money. I was keeping you around for fun. Neither of us meant any of it. I gave up everything for you. No, you gave up everything for a fantasy. I never promised you anything real. Astrid turned to me. I'm sorry about your fiancé. But thank you for posting this. I needed to know. You're thanking him? Will spun on her. My reputation is destroyed. You destroyed it yourself. Astrid pulled off her engagement ring, threw it at him. The wedding's off. I'll have my father's lawyer contact you about the apartment. Your father's apartment? But did you think it was yours? God, you really are delusional. She looked at Sophia with pity. He was using us both, honey. At least you found out before the wedding. Astrid left. Will stood there, looking between Sophia and the door, calculating which relationship he could salvage. Get out, Richard said. Both of you. Sophia, you can come back tomorrow for your things. Alone. Dad, I have nowhere to go. Will's hotel room seems to be available, Dante said. I stood up then, pulled out my keys, and set them on the table. House key. Car key. The spare set. What are you doing? Sophia asked. I moved out this morning while you were at your Saturday spin class. Hired movers. Everything I own is already in my new apartment. The house goes on the market Monday. Patricia will handle the sale details. You already left? 3 hours ago. Bed's made. Dishes are clean. I even left the coffee maker. I know how you hate mornings without it. Wilder, please. The scholarship fund already accepted its first 3 recipients. Kendra, a single mom of twins, starting biomedical engineering in January. Rosita, divorced, 2 kids, pursuing mechanical engineering. Bailey, widowed last year, chemical engineering track. Their thank you letters are on the website. I pulled up the site on my phone, showed the screen. 3 women smiling, holding acceptance letters. That should have been our wedding, Sophia whispered. No. This is better. These women will actually build something with the opportunity. I walked to the door, stopped, turned back one last time. The fraud documentation is with Patricia. Press charges or don't, I honestly don't care anymore. But the debt's yours to handle. All $12,000 of it. Plus whatever Will owes you for that violin bow. It was a gift. Will protested. Then consider it a parting gift. 3 months later. I'm typing this from my new apartment's balcony. Just got promoted to senior biomedical engineer. Turns out removing drama from your life does wonders for productivity. Sophia lost her theater job. Will got suspended from 2 orchestras. They're not together, she's living with her parents, working retail. He moved back to Boston. The scholarship recipients sent updates last week. Kendra aced her first exam. Rosita joined the robotics club. Bailey's professor wants her to help with research. I'm dating now. Patricia's colleague, actually. Intellectual property attorney who appreciates loyalty and has her own investment portfolio. Funny how attractive honesty becomes after swimming in lies. Some people mistake kindness for weakness. I showed them the difference. Thank you so much for watching until the end. If you really like our videos, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Have a great day.